Beautiful evening right here in the cool city of Enugu State, and you already know that it is time for the most entertaining show on your screen tonight. I'm talking about NKA, only on Afia TV, broadcasting live from the most beautiful part of Nigeria on DSTV 254, Go TV 17, and of course Free TV 748. I am Jummia Bulama Ashebo. I'm pleased to be here once again, especially tonight, as we do have a rather fantastic guest. But most importantly, it's important for me to ask, how are you doing? Hope your day went well. Hope you're not so tired. Hope you're able to go home and decompress. And of course, sit in front of your screen to watch us tonight. Remember, we're streaming live on our Facebook page at Afia TV. And of course, you can also go to our YouTube page at Afia TV and Instagram at Afia TV Official. I do have a rather fantastic guest who I will be introducing in just a bit. But don't go anywhere, NKA. We'll be right back. NKA only on Afia TV, and of course it's Tuesday. Just remembering that it is also World Cancer Day, so it's a day to raise awareness every year on cancer, and of course looking forward to a time where cancer will be a thing of the past. A lot of people have lost their loved ones to cancer, and of course sending lots of love and hugs, and of course our prayers to people who are definitely dealing with the loss of loved ones as it concerns cancer, and of course looking forward to a time where we do have a cure and this is a thing of the past. Well, my guest tonight is one who has definitely been in the genre of music for a very long time. A lot of people look at high life music and just feel like it's a genre, but it's more than a genre. It's more of a cultural legacy that has definitely existed for a very long time. And we have a very few people who have been able to carry up this legacy as powerfully as my guest tonight. My guest is one who has definitely been in the game for 33 years. And of course, he has definitely influenced generation with his distinctive sound and timeless music. But beyond music, he's definitely a symbol for dedication, longevity, and most importantly, artistic excellence. Joining me tonight is no other than the one and only Honorable Ikem Francis Mazeli, popularly known as the number one high life legend. Good evening, sir. It's a pleasure to have you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Again, because you were here before. So it's more like your family now and you're here again.
Yes.
And you're definitely back with a lot of gratitude for your life. And of course, if I do say so myself, your life has been one that's been well spent, celebrating your 50th year on earth,
So,
celebrating the fact that you've been on stage for 33 years, and of
yes.
course that you have been married for 22 years. It is no small feat. And of course, I think congratulations and other, with attaining all of that and wishing you many, many, many more years of
Thank you
celebration.
very much. I appreciate you.
All right. In line with all of this, it's important to just take a step back to see how far you've come. When we talk about high life or the genre high life, it definitely has a rich heritage. And it makes me want to ask, how would you describe your journey so far? What made you pick the genre, the high life genre? Because there's so many genre of music that you should have definitely gone into, or you could have if you wanted to. Why high life?
Okay. Thank you very much. Juma has introduced me, but I have to introduce myself. Yes. My name is Honorable Ikem Mazeli, MATERIAL ONYE NWE EGWU. You forgot that.
I didn't forget. But, I didn't want to mispronounce it. I think the same thing to do would just be yeah, go ahead.
For all my fans.
Yeah.
Yes. She asked me why I chose high life music. That's fine. I started with gospel music.
Interesting.
Early 1991. I started from the church. Sometime 1994, 1996 or thereabout. Myself and other talented Onitsha musician, we now decided to come together to form a band called Onitsha Youth Band. Then we were playing varieties. We play gospel, high life, hip hop, reggae, and what have you. But sometime in 1998 or thereabout, when I graduated from Ambusali University, I now found out that the likes of late Chief Ostar Sadebe of the Blessed Memory and the late Oliver the Coke Chief, that they are aging. And when these people are no more, it will be a bad thing that we don't have people that will fill up in the gap. I decided to go into high life because I now know that I am creative. Because high life music is all about being creative. It's a kind of philosophy. You have to tell people what is happening around them, what you think will happen in the future, and how they will be able to tackle those things when they come. High life music is not like gospel music or hip hop. Gospel music is very easy because anything you play, once there is Jesus Christ or God in it, it goes. But high life music, you must have to be creative because people are waiting for you to tell them. Just like when I released my song, Akala Kani na Burofu. All destinies are not the same. My son might succeed as a footballer. Your son can try to venture into football. He might not make it because all our destinies are not the same. So high life music is all about philosophy. Just like when I advise people to Number Onye Already, my song I said, Already. I advise them to be checking up on themselves. Try and go to hospital and check. You might wake up in the morning and you see yourself, you just stand giriba. You might be thinking that but when you go to check up, constant check up, it helps us a lot. When I also advise them with my music, enjoy yourself when you are alive. So many people we are making money, they don't take care of themselves. When they die, all this is vanity upon vanity. And it makes some people realize, wow, how can I suffer for so many years and I will not even put on a very nice dress? It's all about philosophy, advising people. So what made me to go into high life is that I know that I am creative and I can fill in that gap. When I was in the university, I studied at Ambusali University. I'm a graduate of political science.
Interesting.
Yes, I was opportune to come across the late Sir Victor Owaifo. He plays traditional high life. So the kind of music he plays, he uses things around him that happens around him to tell people story that when they use it in life, it will yield so many food for them. So I said, I can do this thing when I go back to my area. So I take him as my role model. So with all these things, that's all that gave me to go into high life music, despite my age. Because people think that high life music is just for older people. No, but to an extent, myself and other younger high life musicians, we've been able to change the narratives that high life music is not only for the older people, no, that the younger ones can do it. I started when I was at a very younger age. I'm now 50, you can see. So 33 years, I celebrated my 33rd years on stage on the 7th of January. So you can see, if you remove that 33 years
wow,
from, it's been long. I started like, as a young man.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's definitely very inspiring. And, it makes me want to ask, especially looking back at your early days, especially as you started very young, just like you pointed out
yes.
now, what would you say were your biggest challenges starting off in the high life industry?
Okay. When I started, your ability to convince people to accept your brand. I personally, I created my own brand of high life music. High life music differs. I chose to go into traditional high life. And I saw it as a challenge because you have to convince people to accept that Chief Stephen Ositatawe has his own pattern of high life. I myself, I try to create my own pattern of high life. And by God's grace, people have accepted it everywhere. Now, when we started our journey, we started from as a packer. I started as a packer. When I started, I myself and some other musicians will go to where we rent our instruments from two-story building. We'll bring our instrument down, take it to where we'll play, set it up, perform. After that, we'll now bring it up and take it up to that.
Is that what you mean by being a packer?
Packer. We pack our instrument. Okay. Somebody that packs instrument.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's one of the challenges.
So
I try to feel, even when I started my journey, for me to have my own instruments, it was a very big challenge. Nobody bought anything for me, even guitar. I bought everything myself. So you can see, there was no support then. But by God's grace, people started supporting me to get to where I am today. So that early stage of my career, I would say that is the challenge. I feel my ability to convince people to accept that my brand of high life music, because I created my own pattern in the high life industry.
I mean, you definitely took the words right out of my mouth, because after talking about the first challenge that had to do with you being a packer, yes, and, packing the instrument up and down, I think the next question was going to be, didn't you have any financial challenge? Because, I mean, speaking with a lot of people who do music, one of the things they talk about, one of the challenges they usually share is money. You need money to produce music. You need money to push your music. So, of course, you've definitely answered that. We're talking about your instruments and, of course, how you did find it hard to buy those instruments. But in line with being on stage for 33 years, what would you say is your biggest or greatest achievement so far?
In the industry?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I've released, in fact, I can't remember all my songs in the music industry. I've released almost 70 tracks in the high life sector, and I've been able to groom so many young, talented musicians, of which I don't have to start mentioning their names.
Of course.
It will be good when they come on, they will voice it out of their own that this particular person, whom I don't have to start mentioning him. Yeah.
I also need to add here that I was pleasantly surprised. So on a very good day, I just want to share a story about your music. On a very good day, I was surfing the internet and I decided to go to iTunes to buy a tune, because I felt like when you use an iPhone, your ringtone, sometimes you get tired of it. And lo and behold, checking for a song, what song do I see on iTunes? Honorable Ikem Mazeli's song. And I'm like, wow, okay, this is nice. Because there's some songs I checked for on iTunes, I didn't see it. And I saw it. I was like, I need to say this when I do see you, because your song is everywhere. It's literally everywhere on all streaming platforms. You can definitely find your song everywhere. You can buy it as a ringtone. You can listen to it. It's definitely fantastic. It just makes me want to ask, because you talked about the young ones just now, and looking at the 21st century and seeing what a lot of people are doing with high life music. Now you have some young ones who are trying to build a path for themselves or trying to sample different things with high life music. You see different versions of high life music coming up every day. What are your thoughts about this new version, in quotes, of high life music that the young ones are bringing to the scene at this time?
That is one of my major concerns. What will be the fate of high life music in the next 5 years or thereabout? High life music is very difficult. We are very few that are still remaining in the high life sector of music industry. Most of the musicians we have in the high life sector, they are now joining the hip hop or hip life. We call it hip life. It's not bad, but at least some people like us have decided to stay in the high life sector to make them understand that no, that will not allow that our cultural heritage to just go away like that. So I advise the younger ones. It's somebody like myself. I have some collabos I have with some of the hip hop musicians, but that doesn't stop me from or taking it away from me that I will run away from a high life music. No, we are still here. But if it happens that I will do a collabo with any of these hip hop musicians, I'll do it to show that I can do it. But I'll still maintain that our cultural heritage, that our high life sector. So I encourage the younger ones to stay there. They should not run away because I know it's lucrative to go into all this hip life, high life sector is still lucrative.
I like the way you say hip life. It makes it a different genre under high life. Yes. And in line with being one of the few pillars of contemporary high life music who are still here, and doing music. Also aside from the fact that you've released over 70 tracks, 70 high life tracks, what would you say, in your opinion, has kept you relevant for this long?
Yes. Your ability to pass a message across to your audience is what will make you to still be relevant in the industry. If you don't have messages, people will forget about you. When you release any music, nobody will have interest in what you're saying. But for you to stand the test of time, if you check my age and when I started, I thank God that I'm still waxing strong in the high life sector because of my consistency in that high life, yes, and the message I've been passing across to my audience. If you're in the high life sector, you have to create and create and create. If you don't create new things for your people and something that will stand the test of time, they'll forget about you. We have younger ones that are coming up now. They will erase you from the system. Once they forget about you, you are gone.
The key word there is consistency.
Consistency.
And creativity.
Yeah, and creativity.
So you need to remain consistent and, of course, creative. Interesting.
Yes.
Now, we're celebrating a lot of things in your life, and one of those things is the fact that you have been married for 22 years. A lot of people who are in the music industry, on the entertainment industry, find it hard, especially when they hear of people like you who have been married for 22 years, actively in the music industry, in the entertainment industry, because your job comes with a lot of challenges. And oftentimes people feel like people who are in the entertainment industry can't stay married for that long because of most of the things they face, they see, or they experience. How have you been able to balance family life, music, and all that you do?
Well, it has not been easy. It takes the grace of God for you to be in a marriage for a long time once you're in the music industry. Because the challenge we face is you meet different people every day in the course of your duty. You meet people that will come to you with open heart, people that will come to you with another agenda. Yes. So it takes somebody that is disciplined to withstand it, and your partner that understands. If you don't have a partner that understands you very well, there's bound to be a problem. I thank God I married somebody that I'll call a friend and a sister, and she understands me. Because if not for that, we will not get to where we are today. Because let's face the fact, entertainment industry. Wow. You meet people every day. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Even you as a presenter, you meet people on a daily basis. So it takes the grace of God for you to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely do know what you mean. Of course, using you as a point of contact to a lot of single people that I know, especially my colleagues. I like to call names at this point, Austin, but I think I'll just leave it for a little bit. Now, in the 50 years that you have, existed, you've been on Earth, what would you say is the greatest lesson you've learned, especially being someone who's been active in the entertainment industry, what would you say is the greatest lesson that has helped you sail through and, of course, stay true to your path?
Yes, like I said before, consistency matters. For you to stand the test of time, you have to be creating new things, innovations. You have to change over statics. You don't have to relax because the younger ones are coming on and everybody wants to come to the top.
Definitely.
So you at the top, you have to work very hard to maintain. It's not easy to attain the lead, but for you to sustain it.
In line with what you're saying now, with someone that has so much experience, oftentimes we have discussions about hard work beating talent. And some people are of the opinion that talent beats hard work. What is your opinion on this?
Everybody has his or her own opinion. Well,
do you feel the two go hand in hand, or do you feel one is more important than the other?
Everything you're doing in life, it takes the grace of God to overcome, whether talent or
hard work.
Yes, you might see some people, they might work from morning till night, but once the hands of God is not that thing, you're going nowhere. You have to be prayerful also in this our choosing career. You have to be prayerful because a lot of things happen in this industry of ours.
I'd like you to share some of those things that happen in this industry. Because it sounds very ominous when you talk about a lot of things happening. In my head, so many action movies are playing. Like, what is really happening? Just a little example of the kind of things that can happen in your industry.
No, as a musician, we travel morning, afternoon, night.
Okay.
For you to travel and come back is a very big challenge.
Definitely.
So for you to overcome all those things, it's not easy. For you to be getting jobs, you're not the only musician around. It takes the grace of God for people to be inviting you to come and perform for them. So you're not the only musician on ground. It takes the grace of God for you to give people what they want.
Definitely.
God will give you the inspiration. So it takes a lot to stand the test of time.
We definitely still see the gospel genre speaking through you, even with the high life. But at this moment, we'll go for a quick break. When we do come back, we will be delving into more about high life and, of course, the #1 high life legend, Honorable Ikem Francis Mazeli. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Also watching NKA only on Afia TV, and it's been such an amazing time with the #1 high life legend and talking about Honorable Ikem Francis Mazeli. I feel blessed to be seated here tonight, sharing such amazing history with legends like this who've been in the industry for a long time, and in his case, 33 years. That is a huge feat, and it's one that definitely needs to be celebrated. And definitely need to talk more about people like him. And like he loves to say, the young ones definitely need to embrace this genre of music because it is part of our cultural legacy and we cannot let this die just like that. But of course, it's still a pleasure to have you here with us, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now, I did ask earlier on when we started the conversation about the challenges you faced when you were much younger. Would you say those challenges are the same now that you face? Because I want to imagine that you don't face any challenges right now. But I mean, I'd like to hear it from you. What are the challenges you're facing at the moment in line with doing music?
Let me use myself as a case study.
Go ahead.
The challenges we face now is the issue of piracy. It's a canker worm that has eaten deep in the music industry. Just take, for instance, you as a musician, you release an album, your marketer will present 20,000 copies. That this is what you have on ground. Later, he will now go behind you and bring like 100,000.
Oh, wow.
Without your consent or being aware, he will be selling it. Some people will even go and pirate that your work and be making sales. You go to Sokoto, you go to Lagos, you go to Delta State, you'll be hearing your music. People might be thinking that you're making the money. Meanwhile, somebody at the comfort of his one-room apartment is pirating your work. So it's one of the challenges we are facing in the industry. Also, the issue of copyright. I advise the younger ones that are coming up in the industry, before you go into any agreement with any marketer or any producer, know what you're entering into. Know what you're going into. Myself, as a case study, I have this problem with some of my marketers because I don't have one marketer. Some of them, few months ago, some of them went and uploaded all my songs online without my consent.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So at a time when in one of my songs or one of my music, there was this particular song, I said, Ekel Olo Eke. You know, there was division of labor. When I now employ the services of professionals, they now found that there are people that are managing me, the media aspect of all these things.
Yeah.
Yes, I was doing it on my own before, but when I now employ the services of all these people, they now found out that all these people are making money on my God-given talent and what have you. So I now took it upon myself to fish out those people that are involved. By God's grace, as I speak, any of my music you now see online in all the digital platforms, I'm totally in control of all of them. So I now advise younger ones, Anambra State in particular, because I am the president of Performing Musicians Association and the Players Association of Nigeria, that's PMAN, Anambra State chapter. I now advise all my members, if you have such challenge, you can come to us. We can help you out because a lot of things is happening in the music industry. All these copyrights, some of musicians that are coming up, they enter into agreement without even knowing what they are. Some of them don't know their rights. I personally, it was when I now employ the services of these professionals that I know some of these things that, no, there's limitations to all these things. So these are one of the challenges we face going into contract without even knowing or knowing your rights as an artist. So,
I mean, that's definitely good advice. And it makes us want to talk about the Nigerian industry, music industry, and the way forward in terms of, just like you said, piracy. A lot of people feel like piracy is a thing of the past, but I like the fact that you just brought it back because, of course, it's to raise more awareness for younger, upcoming, fast-rising artists to definitely put this in check and be sure that their talents, you know, are not being used or misused by marketers or management that they might sign with. And it just makes you just wonder what the National Copyright Commission is definitely also doing about it, because, I mean, it goes hand in hand with the entertainment industry. But now, right before I come to your amazing album, Iseee, let's talk about your creative process. I remember you saying earlier in the interview that you pick stories about what you sing about as it concerns the environment. You see things that happen around you. So is there any other thing that also influences your creative process when you're trying to write music before you put it out there or perform?
A lot of things. A lot of things. You know what is happening in the country. We also use it to pass a message across to the government, yes, and the masses. Sometimes we complain about government, but with the masses, sometimes we create problem for ourselves.
Yeah, we have a part to play.
So we have a part to play. If you listen to most of my music, it's all about advice. It's all about advice. There was one I played, I said, oh, when I go quickly. Yes. It revolves around what is happening about us in the world. You might find yourself in this position tomorrow, today. Tomorrow, it might change. No condition is permanent.
Definitely.
So it's all about advising people. That is high life music for you. It's all about advice and philosophy. There's a lot of things that we use to create our songs or to compose our song. Once you are in the high life sector, it's just for you to be creative. There are a lot of things you use. Even as we are here now, you might not even know. When I go out from this door, I must have had one or two things that I used to. You'll be surprised.
Okay, I'm worried now. But now, let's talk about your amazing masterpiece. I'm talking about Iseee. What would you say inspired it, the album, and the songs on the album?
Yes. That particular song, Iseee, I released it on the 8th of December last year 2024. That was on my birthday,
Wow.
8th of December, yes. It's a kind of prayer to all my fans and all my friends and family. It's a kind of prayer, praying for them to be successful in their endeavors in life. And also praying for myself that I must always improve in this my chosen career every day of my life.
Amen.
So also you as a presenter, if you listen to the song, you people, I also remember you people that was in media houses. It's a prayer for everybody. Not only that, there's this one I released, Actually Abia. I released it on that same day with Iseee. It's all about don't go where they don't invite you.
That's the song I love the most.
Yes.
Because it's something a lot of young ones need to learn.
Yes.
Because I remember growing up as a child, my mom would always tell you, try to watch people's faces, watch their countenance. And if you read a certain body language, go back home. But not a lot of people are that aware of some of those things, which is why it's important for you to go where you are celebrated,
Yes.
as opposed to where you're not celebrated. And I could definitely relate that song 100. Rate who rate you. Go to where you're celebrated.
Yes.
It's very, very important.
Don't be an uninvited guest.
No. It's not fresh. Yorubas call it I've forgotten the word, where you're not invited to a ceremony, but you just go there. Mogbo moya. Yes, that's what it's called in Yoruba. You go to a place to just eat food, to escort somebody, but you're not invited. So you can definitely be insulted in the process.
Not only on occasions,
of course.
even in a relationship. Don't force yourself in a relationship.
Word.
Yes.
Definitely. Very, very important. Now let's talk about the government. You know, we just talked about them a while ago, and we definitely talked about the need for citizens to do their part and let the government do their part. But now, especially as you are the president of PMAN, Anambra State Chapter, what do you think that the government needs to do for the entertainment industry in the Southeast? Let's start from home, because Southeast is where we are at the moment. What do you think that they can do to help music, the entertainment industry, thrive in the Southeast, and of course take it beyond?
First one is they should help us fight piracy. Piracy is not something we can fight alone. It's beyond us. But I pray that with the help of governments, we can achieve that. That is one. Then they need to empower the younger and upcoming ones. Let them, we have just like where we have a game village, when you have studios where younger ones will just go and be recording their music, you have empowered them. All these organizing shows, occasionally you organize shows and feature not only the superstars, but the upcoming ones. You try and feature them. Before you know it, they will excel in whatever they are doing. And once you have somebody that is doing very well in the music industry from your state, it's a very big credit to your state. Once that person comes to an extent, you will still encourage the younger ones. We are employers of labor.
Yes.
Just like myself, I have about 25 people working under me. They are salaried. All my band members, I pay them. Well, my packers, I pay them. My media team, I pay them. We are employers of labor. So when you empower us, you help us empower other ones.
Definitely.
Yes.
I mean, I hope the government in the southeast, talking about Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, I hope the government is definitely listening, because the creative economy is a very viable economy, and lots of money can be made, and of course, you can definitely make lots of stars, shine bright from these various states in the southeast. Now, a question popped into my mind while you were speaking, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to guess something. So the question was going to be, if you were not doing music, if you were not a high life legend, what else would you be doing? And you know what popped into my mind? I felt like you'd be a very good politician. I don't know why. I'm just guessing, but correct me if I'm wrong. Now, if you weren't doing music, or you were not a high life legend, you're not in the high life, industry, or you're doing the high life legend genre, what would you have been doing?
Wow, wow, wow. Your guess is as right as mine.
You see, I feel it.
I'm a politician.
Okay.
I read politics.
Yeah.
I'm a graduate of political science.
Definitely.
Yes. I'm a one-time supervisory counselor for education in my local government.
Okay.
I'm also a one-time supervisory counselor for works in my local government.
Yeah. So it's going hand in hand with what you're doing.
Yes.
So what is next for your political career? Because, I mean, especially as you have delved into politics a while ago, is it that you, at this point in your life, you'd like to focus on music, or would still like to do it hand in hand?
No, for now, I'm concentrating on my music career. But anytime, anything can come up. You never can tell.
Of course.
You don't have to think about too much about tomorrow, because as they say that onye nọ ebe ọ na-agụ ya in Igbo adage. Let me just focus on this, my choosing career first. I know I'm doing well. That doesn't mean that tomorrow, as a politician, I can involve myself in politics for good, because an entertainer will be a very good politician when he goes there, because he will use the experience and his teachings to apply in the political field, and will make a good politician.
Would you like any of your children to walk in your shoes? To do what you're doing at the moment, be a high life
If wishes are good. I personally, I don't know I'll be here today. When I was growing up, I was thinking I'll end up being a banker.
Wow.
Yes. You know, when we were growing up, we say, I want to be this. I never thought of being a musician. So all my children, they are free to choose their own career. It's their destiny. I don't have to choose for them. My own is to guide them. Any chosen profession that they've gone into, I have to guide them. Now my own is
I saw you tilting towards football. I like that. I mean, I look at my son and I'm like, it's like you play football. You know, it's a very good occupation, so you definitely do that. But
I used to be a footballer, but I didn't play it at a professional level.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you seeing any of those signs in any of your children?
You never can tell.
All right, as we round up, what would be your advice to fast-rising artists who want to be like you, who emulate you, who are inspired by you, who love the kind of music you do? What would you like to say to them as we round up?
I still maintain they have to be creative in whatever they do. Don't be a jack of all trades. Choose a particular sector in the music industry. You cannot be doing this one, doing gospel, doing hip hop, doing reggae at the same time. Choose a particular sector and excel in that particular sector. You will be good to go.
And if I'm definitely correct, you said that your music can be found anywhere. That's talking about Spotify, Apple Music, Audiomack, wherever. Are there any other
in all digital platforms?
Digital platforms, YouTube.
And any music you see online, I have 100% control of it. Any of my music you see online now, I now have 100% control over it.
Well, I mean, it was such an amazing time with you. But nevertheless, we still have something in store for you from the #1 high life legend, which I'd like you to stick around and watch. Don't go anywhere. NKA, we'll be right back. final lap of NKA only on Afia TV. It was such an amazing time with the number one high life legend. But as always, we tell you to do well to follow us on all our social media platforms at Afia TV Official and keep a date with the beautiful, amazing Grace Ajayi for news tonight only on Afia TV. I remain Jummia Bulama Ashebu, leaving you in the fantastic hands of Honorable Ikem Francis Mazeli, also known as Material Onye NWE EGWU and the number one high life legend. He has something amazing for you. Have a lovely night. Keep watching Afia TV.